Welcome everyone, KD here with another impression about E3. Today was the Xbox um, presentation, and I want to say a couple of things. First of all, it's kind of difficult to say some specific things because Xbox has this kind of mentality, quantity over quality, and with that I mean they just want to shoehorn as many game trailers in as possible and not really talk about this game. So that I think what I'm personally I rather had they picked out some games and would showcase it a little bit longer. The problem is just that you see a trailer and then you kind of before you even kind of got your thoughts about what you just saw arranged or anything like that, the next trailer is already running. So it's kind of difficult, so I don't want to say too much about the games. Um, I mean, definitely not about Cyberpunk, because everyone else will make a Cyberpunk. I didn't think the trailer was showed especially great stuff, and I'm not too much a fanboy to go crazy just because we saw Keanu Reeves. But yeah, whatever. So I kind of want to talk about Xbox itself, and one thing is they have no idea what the power of exclusive is, and I know they kind of go. It sounds so nice and fine. Yeah, we give our exclusives. They can also be played on PC. But the problem is they showed off a little bit about the new console. They didn't give away too much, except that's the most powerful console they ever worked on. I mean, of course it is. What I didn't expect anything else. Anything else would be stupid. But they made a big deal out of it and didn't say too much. No, they said there are a lot of things, but not specifics or so. Um, and I just don't care. Why? Because all the games they showed, every single one, except probably for one, that was the um, what was it? Something with X Cross Air or something like that. Was Xbox exclusive. Everything else you can play on Windows PC, and that's the problem. Why should I buy an Xbox if I can play all the games on PC? And for some reasons, even after all this, they say we understand you want the console be about gaming and not for something else. They know they fucked up with the last generation, and they kind of want to repair it, but they don't bring the games on the console because they offer the games on PC too. And I mean, of course, like I said, it's kind of this. Yeah, of course, it sounds cool because they don't want to get into the exclusive, but that's in the end what wins people over to buy your console. And I have no reason to buy your console because I don't see a game that is exclusive on your console that I wanna play. If you look at PlayStation, it's completely different. PlayStation has so many great exclusives, and if you don't have a PlayStation, you miss out on all of these exclusives. Spider-Man, God of War. Um, some people like Horizon Zero Dawn. I found it a little bit boring, but anyway. And all these games, of course, Persona 5. And if you don't have a PS4, you miss out on them. If you have a PC, a decent PC, you don't miss anything if you don't have an Xbox. And that's what I'm so wondering why they don't see that. we can also look at Nintendo. Since PlayStation and Sega went from cartridge to CD-ROM, I think from this point on, Nintendo had always the inferior platform. Um, and still it survived. Sega didn't survive, but I mean Sega survived as developer, but not as a console creator. Um, but Nintendo survived until now, and the only reason is the IPs on Nintendo, because people want to play the Zelda, they want to play all the Mario games, and so on and so forth. They want their Smash Brothers. Uh, PlayStation won the last generation just because they had the better games, and Xbox still try just tries to put their games also on PC, what cheapens their console. I mean, in a way, like I said, I have no reason to buy it because I can play the games on PC, and I'm for sure not the only one. Then the next thing is that kind of goes into this is the Xbox Game Pass. Again, I'm not sure if this is an absolute genius thing to bring this on PC or if it's stupid. I say it's genius because they will get a lot of new members for the Xbox Game Pass. I mean, maybe I even think about it to get it, but for PC, not for to buy a console, but to play games on PC. And from that, it's kind of genius because they will get a lot of new members, and that means a lot of money. On the other way, again, it takes so much away from their console, and I don't know what they're thinking about, what they want to do with the console in the future. If they even want to have a console that can compete with with the PlayStation. I mean, they can say so much about the most powerful console ever, as long as they don't have the games that bring people on their platform. It's they will lose again against PlayStation if PlayStation keeps up with their exclusive games, and they will probably even lose against Nintendo because people will. The only way to play your Zelda, your Mario, is to get on Nintendo, and that's kind of it. And so with exclusives, absolutely the PC folks have a lot of problems with exclusive. They say it's not very consumer friendly and blah blah blah. I disagree because if powerful companies like Sony and Microsoft pay money to make these fantastic games, and also Nintendo to make these fantastic games, just to get people on their platforms. These are games that wouldn't exist without the money that comes from these uh, companies. Also, what we saw with these games is they don't have a lot of microtransaction DLC and things like that, because the idea is not to make money with the game itself. The idea is to sell their consoles, sell their passes, and stuff like that. So kind of that was just my thoughts, and then including with that with the whole show, like I said, quantity over quality. There was just too much in there, and they can't say so much about we showed 60 games, it's the biggest thing ever. But if every game gets just so much time, it's kind of I don't see what it is worth. That's kind of what I want to say about the Xbox presentation. Um, they got another studio, that's another thing, and yeah, we will see. Maybe they will learn about the exclusive. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see why I need to buy. And in the end, it's as simple as that. I know that when I think back, so when I actually had always a PlayStation, except for the PlayStation 1, but I had PlayStation 2, and I think PlayStation 2 is still the best console that was ever made. Not because it was the most powerful at the time, but just because of the absolute fantastic game library they had. Before I bought the PlayStation 2, I played mostly on PC. I got PlayStation 2 because of one game, and that was Final Fantasy X that came out exclusive for PlayStation. I got the PS3, of course, because I had a PS2. So I got myself a PS3, and a lot of time I was thinking about should I buy an Xbox, because of the games they had on Xbox and I couldn't play on PlayStation. I ended up to buying a Wii, kind of more or less as a compromise, I don't know. But in the end, the decision to buy these consoles was mostly on exclusives. When I got the PS4, not once I was thinking I want to buy an Xbox, simply because there was not one game that interested me. The thing that then kind of was like, where I was kind of, maybe it could be interesting to buy an Xbox, was backwards compatibility that they brought back on the Xbox, and that's still missing on the PS4. Because then I could play.
When we think about the future of gaming, it's not just PC, it's not just console, it's not just mobile. It's really all of the above.
Xbox is all about choice. We're investing in technology all throughout the game stack.
We put the fan at the center of every decision we make.
The games you want with the people you want on the devices that you want.
And for us, that starts with our next generation console. We don't want to build just another console. We truly want it to be transformative.
More immersion, more exploration, more detail.
How do we make it easier for people to get into the game, to stay in the game?
One of the things that gamers and developers are incredibly excited about is reducing load times.
I'm an RPG gamer, and so loading screens are a thing.
You're sitting there in the fake elevator because you know that the game's loading in the background. This is just an elevator ride forever.
That's our goal with gaming, is that you don't have those pauses.
This generation is special because we've really unlocked this new capability to connect with the characters and worlds in a way that no previous generation has allowed.
This generation is going to be a bigger leap than any generation we've done before.
At the heart of